Yo, yo.
Legacy. Yo,
Figure
Coach
we come in,
Yo.
check in with y'all. More football talk, late night check in. Wild day of football today, bro. What's your thoughts? What you thinking?
Ah, man, the Eagles, man, they blew a hell of a chance, man, to solidify themselves in the 2 seed. Right now, they in the 5 seed. It's up in the air.
Yeah, it's man. I watched that game. I had about 6 games going at one time over here, man. I watched that one, man, and it just had a feel to it that they was just the cards was just hanging around, and then next thing you know, hey Markel, I got the same thing, bro. Be more in the Niners for the big game. So right now I'm looking like Nostradamus. Right now it's looking the picks is looking good, but it's other picks looking good as well. But those are my two personal picks for the bowl. So with that being said, without further ado, let's go down the scores for the day, folks. So far, just thoughts on the games. First game of the day, Texas Titans. Texas beat up on the Titans. The return of C.J. Stroud. Man, that's a remarkable player, man. He's a remarkable football player. What's your thoughts on that game, real quick, Fresh?
I kind of saw that going that way, man. I thought Will Levis was going to be up a little bit up this week. He wasn't. CJ Stroud, his return, I knew it was just going to be a matter of time before he falls back in the line of what he was doing and get back to doing what he was doing before he got concussed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that team's got some holes. You know what I mean? They fought valiantly in terms of keeping themselves in the playoff race up to that point, but the better team won the day, if I'm not mistaken. According to just from what I'm thinking. Um, Good performance there by the Texans, man. They got something there. They got something there. Next game, this one was I didn't expect this. I expected the Ravens to win, but I did not expect them to win like this. 56-19. Lamar Jackson with a MVP with 5. The Ravens dominate the Dolphins. Dominate. Thoughts on that one?
I didn't see a domination coming. Actually, I picked the Dolphins. You ain't got to argue me down if you pick Baltimore Ravens. They are the best team in the AFC. I just was going with my Super Bowl pick, the Miami Dolphins. They clearly look like they're number 2 right now, but it looks like objects in their rear view may be closer than they seem. Next week they have a huge game for the
Yeah.
division against Buffalo.
Dominating performance, man. Dominating. They call those Heisman games. This was definitely an MVP type of game right here. Um, Shout out to the Ravens, man. Back to back dominating games against Super Bowl contending teams. Big time win. Big time win. Next game, Jags Panthers. Jags beat the Panthers 26-0 in a bounce back game for the Jags. This was an impressive one. Um, because you need a game like this. They were reeling. So the Jags at 9-7 kind of control that particular division right there. If I'm not mistaken, did they seal that division today? Okay.
I think they did. Well, I think they did because next week, if I, no, 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 no. If they, I think they have a game with Houston next week for the division. If I'm not mistaken, we got to look that
Okay.
up. It
Okay.
might be, this might be the way time for the way too early predictions.
The fact that Houston is even contending for the division is remarkable. I mean, truly remarkable in itself. Truly remarkable. Got to give it to him. Got to give it to him. Next game, we have the 49ers traveling across the country to top the Commanders 27-10. Uh, Brock Purdy in a bounce back game. Look very good today. Um, it was one of those games where they controlled the game in the second half. It was close in the first half. They controlled the game in the second half once Sam Howell started to throw a few interceptions, and it just started to landslide and go their way. But good bounce back game by the 49ers on the road. My other Super Bowl pick.
Actually, thought man they was going to really thump you guys, man. I kind of felt bad. I was like, wherever you at, Coach P, man, hold your ears and close your eyes, man, because I brought the hammers out for you guys earlier. But it lasted a little bit longer than I thought it was going to last, but it ultimately ended up exactly like I thought it was going to end up. And I guess you like you said, for y'all got the number 2 draft pick. So
Hey,
That's what's up.
hey,
That's what's up.
hey.
That's what's
We'll get to how that happened a little later. You know what I mean? We'll get to how that transpired and how that came about a little later on. So I digress. Moving on. The Buccaneers almost get shut out by the Saints. It was looking bad for a second, but big road win for the Saints to move to 8-8 and a tie with the Bucks at 8-8. What is going on here? This division is coming down to the wire. The wire. Baker Mayfield. Just when you think he's turning the corner, it all comes crashing down. Thoughts?
Man, I went against everything that I felt today, because everything that I felt today told me to pick Tampa Bay. It's like, oh man, Baker Mayfield is playing better. Tampa Bay is playing better than I thought. But I was going more with what the Saints was giving me. I was like, look, man, I'm not gonna go with my gut on the Saints, and my gut on the Saints was saying pick against them. But I said, nope, I gotta find a reason why to pick them. And I went against my gut, and this shit fucking worked. This shit fucking worked today,
Man.
man. It worked today. You know, I don't know what it is with the Saints, but I gotta go against my gut with this.
It's Baker, man. It's Baker's. I mean, as moving on, moving on. And this, the shocker of the day that made me happy twofold. The Eagles lose a stunner at home to the Cardinals. The Cardinals. Oh, your guy was out there dealing today, man. I mean, he's running around like Super Mario out there dealing. This is the guy. This is the guy that you tell us about. He was him today. He was him today. He was dealing out there.
I thought that the Eagles was going to win. I thought that they could be able to probably stop that last drive, or maybe shut it down for a field goal. You feel them, and then they get the ball maybe, and with a one last driver in overtime and win it. I thought that they was going to win, but I definitely said, I predicted this on the Fire and Ice pregame talk. I said this is going to be a lot closer than what a lot of people think. I think Kyler Murray is going to definitely stress the number one thing that the Eagles are terrible at. And all he did was run around, wait till somebody was open, buckets. Run around, wait till somebody's open, buckets. And kudos, before we go any further and before we go on to the next one, to hard running James Conner.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, man, the ground game. They chewed up 200 plus yards on the ground. Listen, man, the Eagles are broken somewhat. They're broken somewhat, man. I mean, I'll say this. I'll say this. While Markel, I don't want to say they're done. I think that they're definitely not as feared as they once were. They're a little broken on that defense. And I think the offense itself has some serious issues in terms of continuity. There's something going on there. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. That division has now come down to the last week of the season. How about that? The division has now come down to the last game of the season. And that's what you want. That's what you want. The Cowboys going into Washington to play a division rival, playing spoiler. The Eagles playing the Giants, another divisional opponent, trying to play spoiler. Both teams got to avoid the trap game. It's for the division. It's for all the marbles next week. Let's see what happens. Cowboys win. They control their own destiny. Eagles now need help. Who would have thought this as the last undefeated team in the NFL weeks ago, that they need help to win a division? They're still in, but they need help to win a division. Amazing, amazing. I can't believe what I saw today. We got the Rams defeat the Giants 26-25 in what was that was one of the games I had on, and boy, it was that game was something else. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. The G-men put up a fight today. Shout out to the G-men. They provided a firework laced game today.
Man, I thought the Hammers was going to come out here too, man. I thought this was
not so fast. Not so fast.
Not so fast. I thought the Rams was going to win, but I thought there was going to be a lot more distance between them and the Giants. But one thing I did say is, man, I said Tyrod Taylor is the best quarterback on that roster. So I
Yes, he
wouldn't be
is. Yes, he is. I
surprised if
agree with that.
these
Absolutely. I
pros
agree.
that Danny
Absolutely.
DeVito and Danny Dimes, Tommy DeVito and Danny Dimes couldn't put together. And it was a lot closer than what I thought. When I thought it was come down to the end, I was like, no, don't go for it. Tie it up. Go ahead and tie it up. You guys are playing good. Go ahead and tie it up. Give yourself a chance. But I don't know what it is. Everybody's just got all gas, no brakes these days. Everybody's going
Yeah.
for it. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
no, they play
Absolutely.
valiantly, as they say.
In another game that started to look pretty bad, but actually got close later on. The Raiders dropped one to the Colts. The Colts sitting at 9-7. Shane Steichen got them playing football, folks. 23-20. The Colts prevail over the Raiders. Raider Nation, you had it going. You had it going for a second, coming off of that big, big, big road win against the Chiefs. Man, I would have actually thought you guys may have won this game. I would have picked you guys in that game, but the Colts showing some moxie with their first year coach. I'm impressed. I'm truly impressed. Thoughts?
Of course, I went with my guy Gardner the Mustache Minshew today. I went with them. I said last week, man, the Raiders cannot, will not, shall not replicate the effort that they poured forth last week.
Shan't not.
Shan't not. Shan't not. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do it again. They couldn't do that again. Even though I know they was going to play valiantly, they was going to play hard. I know they wasn't going to play winning football today, and that was just what it was going to be, man. They did everything. You know, they had enough controversy last week to fuel them. Now it's just a
Right.
regular week. You got to show up and just win and play football. It's nothing there for you. You shot your load. So shout out to the Colts, man. They fucking fighting. I fucking love Gardner, the Mustache Minshew, man. That's one of my guys, man. He's in the fire.
How about this game? How about this one? Bears topple the Falcons 37-17. I saw some things today from Justin Fields today, video game like. I mean, the guy is, just so difficult to get a hold of. Threw for 268 and a tutty and a dominating performance. I think the Bears have a conundrum on their hands when it comes to draft time. Do they go for the quarterback or do they take the generational talent at wide receiver and provide him with more weapons to put around him and DJ Moore? I don't know.
Well,
Talk to me.
I had enough confidence in the guys who will be making the picks, I would say keep Justin Fields. I would say keep him. But of course, they're going to let go of their coach again, probably, possibly. I've already heard that they're going to let go of their GM, who they just got a couple years ago. So
Polls.
It might be who.
That's an interesting point, Markel. That's an interesting point. Justin Fields could very well be showcasing right now. He's an Atlanta kid, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a good point, Markel. Proceed, Fresh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of people think it's just so easy to pick quarterbacks off trees. And all right, cool. You pick a quarterback off a tree. They still have so many other holes to fill on that team. You might as well, if you have a guy that's reputable, keep him. Because you haven't shown that you can do much else with anything else. So keep this guy and see if you can fill these holes on the offensive line that you've had since the 80s. See if you can fill these holes at the wide receiver that you can only have one wide receiver who catches the ball on your team at a time since the 80s. You feel what I'm saying? Get you somebody. Right. And if you... But since you can't put your faith in the Bears to make those decisions, you may want to trade away Justin Fields so you can have so many more cracks at it because you're probably going to be bad at it. So just make a bigger net.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have a new regime come in. So I mean, there's some things there. Let's think about this though. The Bears are 7-9 right now with another game to play, so they could very well end up 8-9. I don't think you need to tear the house down, to be honest with you. I think there's been some progression. Just my thoughts. I don't think you got to tear the house down. I think with that higher pick, it may even behoove you to trade back and grab some more capital. Who knows? But
I think the same way, but they haven't shown themselves to be the type of team to take advantage of the draft picks and their draft capital and their draft status to make a team. They've had high draft picks. They whip on them, or they pick somebody on fucking defense. You feel what I'm saying? You're like, oh man, what the fuck's going on around here? So
we'll see this offseason because I think it's sitting right there. I think you have the building blocks right now. You got DJ Moore, you got Justin Fields, you draft a generational wide receiver talent in Marvin Harrison, and you let them play. Let's see if they blow it. Who knows? You could be. We're going to revisit this conversation on draft day, and then we'll have that conversation again because like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong because history says you're absolutely 100% correct. But with a new regime, I always say, let's see what they do. Let's see what they do.
Before we move on, the Chicago Bears have been picking the same regime over and over and over and over. The football game has changed. They have been picking the same people to pick the same people in Chicago. If you notice, they like everybody they pick, same coach.
It's the same mold.
General managers who make all the same personnel and schematic decisions.
They got to do something different.
They're going to pick the same shit.
Right.
I believe.
Moving on. Bills narrowly defeat the Patriots. There goes that pesky division rival playing on the road, playing spoiler. The Bills beat the Patriots. Josh Allen muscles his team to the victory. Slowly but surely, the Bills have put together what looked like kind of a disastrous season. They're at a point now where next week, guess what happens? Bills versus the Dolphins for the division. Oh, this is big. Listen, how great is that? On the final weekend of football, you got two divisions coming down to the last game. There might be three divisions come down to the last game of the season. How about that? This is beautiful. As a football fan, this is what you want. Meaningful football in week 18. What could be better, bitch? Man.
Yeah, man. Sheesh. I think a lot of people wrote off Buffalo, but then there was a lot of people who had probably.
He ain't right back though. He ain't right back. He wrote them all, but he ain't right back.
But that's the thing, though. They're talented enough to beat anybody at any given time. But they're so talented, it behooves you, and you scratch your head when they lose to certain teams and they play as bad as they fucking play.
Well, it goes to show. It just goes to show that the NFL, you have to be committed every single week, and you have to play at a level of excellence. If you do that, then it tends to more of what you're seeing out of the Ravens and the Niners when you come and you bring it every single week at a consistent basis. Unfortunately, I think Buffalo read their press clippings and they hadn't brought it every single week. And the level of NFL play, when you're one of the quote-unquote glamour teams, they play at that particular level to match you. You got to be able to take it up another notch and say, man, this levels to this. And a lot of times this season, the Bills just haven't been able to do that. But with that being said, I digress. They've turned this thing around. The Bills are sitting at 10-6. 10-6. They take to the road next week. They go down to Miami to play a Miami team that's kind of in a weird position after getting throttled today. Let's see how that one plays out. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that one. And in the last couple of games we got the Chargers and the Broncos. Let me see here. Chargers and Broncos went final. Broncos win 16-9. The Chargers at 5-11. Jesus Christ. What's going on there? What's going on there? What give me just your synopsis of what's going on there.
They are not a very good run franchise. Well, no, they probably are a good run franchise. They just are not good at picking or evaluating talent. I think it's a lot of names around there.
Is it? Oh, wait. Let me stop you there. Now evaluating talent. Do you mean leadership talent? Because there's talent all over the field. You got Derwin James. You got Sante Samuel Jr., the Bosa. They got talent all over the field. I'm personally thinking the decision makers in terms of the on-field product, calling the shots, is where the ball is being dropped. And you could point the finger squarely at the guy with the headset.
That's fair. That's fair. One thing I will say is Brandon Staley probably led to his team's demise a little bit more than any other NFL head coach this season or the last couple seasons. With that being said, I always will put the majority of the blame and give the majority of the credit to the people on the field. Now, mind you, the San Diego Superchargers played today. There was no Brandon Staley, and they lost today. You can't blame it on Brandon Staley. These guys just aren't playing up to their potential. But now, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but just like it usually happens around this time of the year, they have maybe one guy that's healthy out of all these names that you have. All these guys that you do have with a name, they're playing a little bit overrated or over bloated stats right now. I do recall Khalil Mack having a game with 6 sacks this season.
Right.
Can we get a sack today? You're still playing football. You guys are still out here playing for pride. You're still out here playing, period. But I was like, man, they're still the San Diego Superchargers. And I knew they was going to go out and give a less than professional effort today. And I'm glad they did because I think I got some fucking money. Let me check on a little bit of money. Yeah.
I can dig it.
I think I did.
So in the another game went final. The Chiefs prevail over the Bengals in what was a very, very good game. Very good game. I'll say this about Patty Mahomes, man. Even with the league-leading amount of drops that his wide receivers are giving him, I mean, he is finding ways. That is going to have to be addressed in the offseason. You may see them retool the entire wide receiver room. What's your thoughts?
Ditto. I keep telling everybody out there that's willing to listen, man, if there's one entity, one group, one position, one player, one marriage that I believe in more than any in the NFL, it is the alien named Patrick Mahomes and Big Red Andy Reid. Those two guys together will lift up your organization every fucking week. It will max you out. It will max you out. These two guys, I really love Patrick Mahomes because he really is a person at the quarterback position that is raising up all the people around him. And you can look at it with your own damn eyes. They are failing him this year, and he's still dragging them along. No one else is doing that, man. Who else is doing that?
This is more impressive than many of his other seasons because of the fact of the yeoman's work that he's doing, like you said, dragging them along. But moving on, the last game of the day, the Sunday night tilt that we still have at hand, we have a interdivisional game, which what looks like could possibly be playoff seeding, 2, 7, and 8 teams. The Packers and the Vikes. The Scholar Coaster is up against Titletown. Let's see how that plays out. We're not gonna make a pick. We're just gonna enjoy that one. Let's just see how that one plays out. I think we may be in store for a barn burner in that one. We've had a couple of great ones today. I think that's going to follow suit for the Sunday night tilt because the Scholar Coaster is the Scholar Coaster. That's what they do. Everything's interesting when it's the Scholar Coaster. Everything's interesting.
I got my heart pills because I said I've been rolling with the Scholar Coaster all season. They've been up and down. They've been up when I thought they was going to be down. They've been down when I thought they was going to be up. So I said I'm going with the Scholar Coaster this weekend. I don't know how much or how far I can believe in Jordan Love. I like the defense a little bit more than people think. But I'm rolling with the Scholar Coaster, and I'm going to close my eyes and buckle in.
Hey, man, well, that's what's up, man. Listen, I just wanted to come in, just some thoughts on the games today. Just a quick recap. It's almost a new year. We got hours left. I hope everybody's got their whatever you're doing, be safe about it. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. I personally got I got myself. I'm ready. I'm ready. You know what I mean? To bring it in the right way. I'm definitely ready. Whatever you doing, whether you out partying, man, we with friends, whether you with family, man, do it up big tonight. Appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate you, Nino Brown, Markel. Love you dudes, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man, each and every time. Y'all could be anywhere in the world. Y'all could be doing anything. But y'all messing with us, man, and we appreciate it. We truly appreciate it. We will be back consistently like we always do. Whether it's 100 viewers, whether it's no viewers, we still gonna do it because this is what we do. So with that being said, if you don't hear from nobody else, Happy New Year's from the Fire and Ice crew. We love that you rock with the experience. Keep experiencing us more. Fresh, take us out of here, bro.